Welcome, you creamy cunts. We're back again. Record another podcast. Take a listen while you jizz 'em. You know what I'm saying? Just
Whoa, man.
come along with our dong.
It's hard to listen to anything when you come real hard.
yeah. You get all fucking tuned out, man. That's like, man, you know when you're trying to you're trying to hold your nut and put your mind on anything else. And then, you just keep, focusing in, and you're just like, I can't hold it anymore. And you just really fucking, oh.
Yeah. Or you lock in a certain mode, and you're like, oh, no, here it comes.
yeah. You just know there's no, you just get to the point where you can't deny it anymore.
Yeah.
It is like mind over matter. Like, you can definitely keep yourself from gooping it, but you just hit one stroke and you're like, oh, that's it, and you just fuck it, man, I'm going for it.
You walk in, man.
That's
fucking Bondar.
I'm gassing.
Gas.
Man, let me just get this thing shared in the group, and then we can do this episode.
Ass.
Man,
Kentucky's
man,
dog.
man. You know what? We've been listening to 3 6 Mafia a lot in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And man, still the funniest things of all are when they're doing they're trying to sell their new albums and shit at the end of the record.
Yeah.
That's before Twitter, so they would just put it on. It's like, new Chrome coming out, Choices 3, the movie, and Juicy J's like, Choices 3. oh shit. Yeah, just being so stupid.
Man, Choices is the best movie ever made.
Oh yeah, man, it's great,
God, dude.
What a rockin' fucking movie, dude.
I just said, hey man, you ever done this before? No. All right, you're perfect. This will be great. It's got everything you need though: strip clubs, gang banging.
Man, they're promoting Choices 3 on the Most Unknowns. That never came out. And you know, a hilarious thing they say when they're talking about that, they're like, "New Crunchy Black coming. We promise. It's really coming out. We got it. It's gonna come out. Just keep checking. I don't know, the liquor store."
Oh.
Yeah, but you know that the fucking 3 6 Mafia albums are for sure like that. You could just go to the liquor store and buy one. It's like, man, I'm gonna go to the liquor store, pick up a couple beers. You want anything? Like, yeah, man, bring me that fucking get Choices too, man.
Or the fucking gas station with a taqueria truck, right in the same parking lot.
Yeah,
you know, you're getting some good ass trap mixes.
Yeah, there's a mixtape gas station in Hot Springs.
There's a couple.
Yeah. They used to be the Dodge store, man. They used to have a bunch up there.
Yeah.
They cleaned that Dodge store up, man. It's a goddamn shame, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they fucking changed a lot of things. Like their fucking turkey leg recipe. That was bullshit.
No, what they did is they overcooked it. Because she was mad. They definitely, she was pissed off that you called. If you would have told me how that phone call, so we ordered, one time we were here and we were going to go to the Dodge store to get turkey legs. And they take 1 hour to cook, allegedly. And Buddy said they took half an hour. Because he was like...
That's what she told me, man.
Or she told you half an hour, but then it ended up being an hour because we argued about that. So she did tell you half an hour.
It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. They just way overcooked it. So you called and asked if we could order them, and it sounded like it went real smooth. You were like, yeah, how long does it take? Oh, 30 minutes? Yeah, no problem. Okay, they're like, yeah, we're in Benton, so that'll be perfect. But what really happened is you called her, and you were like, can you cook one? And she was like, I guess.
No. That is not what happened. She sounded confident.
You made it sound like, man, I was asking you what the mood was. You're always flip-flopping, man. You're flim-flamming.
Ain't no you flip-flop.
Man, you made it sound like she was aggro about it. But hey, it doesn't matter if she was or wasn't. That shit took an hour and 25 minutes or some shit. And they way overcooked it, man. Yeah. It was fried to death.
It was fucking real thick construction paper with salt on it.
yeah, shit fucking honked. I hated it, man. It was really, I ate it all, though, on principle.
It tastes like a dog pussy.
I mean, I get it, dude. It's like a fucking big piece of dry meat. It's dark meat, so it shouldn't be that dry. But at the same time, it's a big piece of fucking turkey meat, and you fry. It's gonna take forever to fry. That's understood. But even from frozen, half an hour in a motherfucking fryer, that's good.
Yeah,
and it'll be juicy because they used to be so fucking all juiced up, man. Because they're smoked, they're already smoked. And then they're frozen, so it's like they're raw. Yeah. If first of all, we're not gonna get sick. If you got it to room temperature, it'd be fine because it's already cooked.
I had it all fucking super cold, like a popsicle, and just
yeah, Yeah, I mean, I would have taken it like lunch meat temperature for sure over
I
that.
hate getting an old gold tooth on a fucking turkey leg. It's like biting a cold ass rock.
All right, man. Well, we can fucking do this podcast whenever. If you're watching on the live YouTube feed, we're doing a song, so we might fuck it up a couple of times. That's always fun to watch on YouTube because you can see 8 takes of the same thing. I'll pull my fucking notes back up, and then we gotta do this shit right here. It's a good song, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Hanging a dog. That's the only hard part is coming in, like coming in hot, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of just fucking. Like, I don't want to ramp up, man. I want to come in hot. I want to know I'm a fucking professional. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear something?
Yeah, I heard the
Okay,
hi-hats,
all right,
man.
I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah,
where.
it's just clicking it in, man. That's all it's doing. It's just locking it in for us.
Hell yeah. That's a ripping fucking track, dude.
Feel it, man.
Fucking the dog is like dynamite. You know a pooch keeps that hoe real tight. They bark and they bite. They sniff and they scratch. But man, a dog is a great piece of ass.
Too dumb to come. Too dumb to come.
Oh, I'm too dumb.
Too dumb to come.
Too dumb to comb.
Dumb, too dumb to come.
Too dumb.
Too dumb to come.
Oh, I'm too dumb.
Too dumb to come.
Too dumb to fucking comb. Feel like we fucking banged that out, man. Yow!
That was good.
God damn it, man. I need to be in a fucking hard rock band.
Yeah.
Man, I love fucking rock. Rock.
The best band out of all that shit is
Wasp.
Wasp. That's
Yeah,
it. I was
yeah.
gonna say Steel Panther, but Wasp is better.
Nah, man.
You want to keep that take then?
Yeah, we'll keep that. I'm happy with it. I don't care. I don't even care if it honks. I'm set.
You can keep it going. Let me export this real quick.
Yeah, we're cool. We're on YouTube.
If you wanna see
YouTube.biz.
my ass, catch his fairly fucking vaginal sea bass. God, you smell like shit. Let me
Oh,
fucking
you're right about
eat
that,
that
man.
clit.
I like stinking, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it because you like the smell of it, or do you like the way people look when they smell you?
Hey, man, it's kind of both, dude. Like, I know I smell bad. It smells good to me, but like, I know that other people. And here's the thing about smells, man. Is like, all right, so there's a type of stink to it that a person has. That's like, I think if you're like if you're living pretty clean, you know, like the type of BO you put off is just like good old fashioned body odor. Like, it ain't too bad. Like, there's you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But there's like, if you're eating fucking chips, candy, drinking, and you're living dirty, the type of stink you have, it smells like apartment carpet. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
it's the worst. I think if you're not in that stink zone and you just let like your natural, like you fucking, you know, work without deodorant, lift some weights without deodorant, and just live it, you know?
Yeah, but there's a fucking third tier to that.
Yeah, what's that, man?
It's fucking cross between fucking pizza and dead body mixed with fucking cat litter, used cat litter,
Yeah.
and fucking ass combined. It's fucking stings your goddamn nose hairs.
I got a cat litter smell?
Yeah.
It's like an ammonia thing, though, right?
No.
No, it's just litter. No, it's ammonia, dude. Once you get all
No.
protein, I'm telling you right now, man, I know what it is. Like a
I
jujitsu
mean-
gi, like an old stinky gi.
Man, here's the thing, man. It's like everybody likes their own farts. Nobody else likes your farts.
yeah, that's
I'm
true.
telling you what. I'm telling you the fucking facts, and you can take them or not, man.
Man, I'll take them, dude. I know you're looking out for me.
I don't really give a shit what you do. I like
Yeah.
them. I like watching people be miserable.
yeah. Yeah, man, I just bring it around, dude.
Fuck.
I'm not even wearing those shoes that I have are fucked up. That's another thing you're smelling in the cars that those boys are in there, dude. Those things are fucked up. Because here's the deal with those guys.
What's that
man.
old fucking trash monster? Grover?
Yeah,
That's
no,
you.
Oscar.
Oscar.
Yeah. With those shoes, man, those are like the New Balance ones that they're like minimal shoes.
Yeah.
And like I was first under the impression that you're supposed to wear them without socks. That's not the case. And then second of all, I've had those for like 8 years. You remember
Yeah.
when I got them?
Yeah.
And dude, I've like hiked, traipsed through swamps and shit with them, and I've never cleaned them. And I didn't wear them for like 3 or 4 years. So like seriously, day one of wearing them without socks, man, like all those old fucking swamp smells came back, and we were just back to square one with that horrible smell.
It's like an old stinky pussy, man. It's like it don't
Man,
smell
it's
bad until you
fucked
start pounding
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Those are in my car right now. Those are definitely fucking. Because you could smell those when I was wearing them. Remember, in the gym.
it. Yeah.
You know what's so fucking funny to me is that we walked in the fucking gym, dude. Walked in the gym, and those two ladies were walking past us. And she looks at the other one and she goes, "Whoa, it really smells like a gym in here today."
Yeah. I remember that time we
Yeah,
fucking
hell
did
yeah,
it.
you fucking pigs.
We did it a legal fucking camp, and those fucking cops stopped us and we're like, "Oh shit!" And we're sitting down and they like ran our shit and they're like, "You're free to go. The world is your oyster." But the problem is the car smelled like an oyster, and so it's probably those goddamn shoes. Did you leave those shoes in there for like 8 years?
No, man, they were in my closet for a while, but I was probably wearing those then. Those are, I got those because we were like hiking and camping all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like those minimal shoes, but they have like kind of they have like those weird treads on the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're pretty. I don't know why they felt rugged. I honestly bought them because I was like, here's some outdoor ass shit
Yeah.
for cheap.
Yeah, I remember when I bought some before we went to Hawaii, man, and I fucking was swimming and doing all that shit, and then we got done, and it was like, that Riddle car smelled good before we got
Man,
in
those
it.
were fucked up, dude. Yeah, that's the thing is you get them water, they get like water fucked,
Yeah.
and you just keep wearing them.
Man, waterlogged.
They
two
get
meanings.
fucking water hogged, man, and you just keep wearing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Waterlogged is when you get your squirter and she fucking logs it up on you.
Oh my god, yeah, man. He squirts so hard they shoot a fucking turd out, dude.
Like that fucked up fucking log ride, man.
The Great American fucking log.
Then that
ride.
log goes down the shooter, and then
It's called a plume, dude. A fucking plume. You fucking plume
the
pig.
fucking log ride goes down the old shooter, man, and hits a
Yeah.
bottom and splashes.
Yeah,
That's
man.
like exactly what the fuck the
Man,
water log
you
is.
fucking plume. It's called a plume, dude. You fucking
Yeah.
plume pig. Why you fucking
You bloom plunging pig.
fucking shooting a log out? Man, I told you by the time I got shit on from butt fucking, right?
You probably have.
Well, man, I mean, it's happened a few times, but like the one time it like a lot of shit, which kind of spoils the story. I think that's the crescendo. But I was in it was when I was going to college, dude, and I had not fucked around with a lot of girls at this conjuncture of my life.
Yeah. You
So
want
I-
to just save? Are we going right now?
No.
No, we should wait.
All right, okay,
Yeah. This is a.
waiting for you to tell me when
Yeah.
to go.
We should. You gotta save this.
all right. I'll save it.
You ready to go?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
Welcome to Death Metal Dukes. Goddamn, we're back again.
Wee woo.
Woo! Man, hell yeah, another fucking week with these dumb shits. Me and Buddy, we're glad to see you. Man, we got a ripper this week. We're talking about the Order of the Solar Temple. It's a cult and secret society still active today in some forms. The group formed in 1984 with the belief that the Knights Templar never disbanded, just went into hiding, and then in Geneva, Switzerland, two sketchy-ass dudes decided to form a society that would claim to be carrying on the Knights Templar. It all sounds like fun. Knights, swords, adventure. But when the group came into the spotlight in 1994, it would be for something far more sinister than a sword fight.
Oh yeah. I wish, man.
Welcome to the show.
Let me tell you what. Motherfuckers are out here sword fighting.
Yeah.
I'd move to that location.
Yeah, I love a sword fight, dude. It's open sword carry in Texas now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
First of all, I didn't know you couldn't carry a sword. That's the most shocking thing about that to me. Because whenever, like, I know about guns, first of all, I think in Arkansas, we can open carry guns,
Yeah, we can.
You can't conceal a knife over a certain amount.
No.
Conceal.
No,
but
they
you can-
changed it. They changed it.
To what? Go ahead. Tell me.
No,
Give me the law.
You can conceal it.
So you can just conceal a big fucking... Arkansas doesn't give a shit either. So where does it factor in? Like, when have you not been able to carry a sword?
I mean,
I think you can.
There's several times through history. I am a blade master.
For sure.
You've seen my skills.
Absolutely. The infamous fucking Katana Kata outside of the World Karate Championships is the greatest display of swordsmanship I've ever seen in my life. Who's got that video? We got to dig
Somebody's
that shit
got
up.
it.
Yeah.
The ISKA was going on, and then we were doing the jiu-jitsu tournament next door, and then we like where we worked at, you give kids swords if they win first place, which makes no goddamn sense, but whatever. And they're real swords, but I pulled a blade out on everybody and I fucking spinned it. And then Chris went ahead and gave me the the classic music you play. Everybody dance now. Yeah, I'm fucking swinging that shit. And all you gotta know is if society goes down fucking hill, y'all are all fucked because I have sword skills and y'all are pussies.
Everybody's sword now.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I mean, we could just talk about swords for 5 fucking hours, but hey, welcome to Death Metal Dicks. We're glad you're here. If this is your first time tuning in, we are the only true crime podcast that compares true crimes and sometimes fake crimes, occult occurrences, paranormal conspiracies to our favorite death metal songs. If you love what we do, we love you for that. If you want to help us out, there's a couple of super easy things you can do. One, most importantly,
take loads on your face from us.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
Just kidding.
Look, I could promise you I would never, ever try to make sexual contact with any of you. And if Buddy does, we'll fucking kill him. Now.
All right.
Share the word. Tell your friends about us. That helps a ton. And listen, that's what you're doing now. We certainly appreciate that. And after Buddy threatened you with sperm, I would certainly understand if you turned it off.
I don't come.
Now, if you shut the fuck up. Now, if you would get, if you like what we're doing, you could get on iTunes, give us a 5-star review, and type anything in the comments. I saw some fucking funny ones this week. There was like 4 of them with just some dumb shit.
Hell yeah.
One was like, "Vulture's my favorite bird to eat ass" or something. I was like,
yeah,
"Man,
that's
right."
a good band too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a kicking band. So just give us a 5-star review. You can type anything you want to in there. We would greatly appreciate it. It really helps us out on the business end of things, climbing up the charts. We're in like the world's top 100 true crime podcasts. We're by far the #1 death metal podcast. We just want to keep stunting on these hoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're DIY. We got no backing, no help, no company, no investors, nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let's show the world that these big old death metal boys could make it happen. Now, some people love the show so much that they make the show possible by financially contributing to us. It's tremendous. There's not a proper way to verbally express how much we appreciate those who do. We give them a shout out at the end of every show. There's a bunch of you guys. We got some new ones on board. That is by going to patreon.com/deathmetaldicks, basically becoming a producer on our show. There's different tiers you can get a hold of to contribute to, and we would appreciate anything you could do for us. And if you don't like that type of platform, a one-time donation of as little as 10 cents all the way up would be tremendous to us. We're grateful for any support that you give us, and you can give us a one-time donation through PayPal. The address is our email address, deathmetaldicks@gmail.com. All business out of the way. We're ready to kick it off with some greasy fucking crimes. Can we pause for a second? Buddy's wigging out about something.
Oh no, I'm fine. I was looking up the fucking song.
Oh.
I forgot.
Were you like waving at me? I thought it was all going down.
No, I'm just like, fuck man.
Sorry.
It's alright.
You're all set?
Yeah, I'm just
I'll write the song down too while you get it.
Necronomicon. Temple of the Sun.
That band has awesome videos.
Necronomicon?
Oh no, I'm thinking of
Necrogoblicon.
yes.
Yeah, that's a cool band name.
All right, let's do this shit.
All right, I'm gonna
Too young to jack and come.
back it up just a little bit. We'll do like we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum.
Bring me the soul of one unicorn's pussy. I just put all my fingers inside of a unicorn until it fucking comes. And then the unicorn's not instant anymore, and I just... Oh my god,
It's like Man of War, Pleasure Slave without the ladies.
Dude, I hate, dude, man, like, today I was listening to fucking Manowar at work, of course, and I walked out of that, and I had, like, the Bluetooth speaker cranking, and I walked out of the kitchen to do some shit when fucking Kingdom Come was on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I walk back in, and, like, two of the owners are standing back there, and it's just, oh, like, God damn it, Pleasure Slave, every fucking time you do this to me. And then, you know, I played it cool like it wasn't even my shit. I was like, God damn, who's listening to sex?
They start fucking in the back.
I know they knew, man. I know they knew.
Like, yeah, you want to smell pizza?
Smoke pizza?
Smell it.
Oh.
Y'all kind of smoke pizza. Y'all do that.
No, man, no, the fuck we don't.
You use a goddamn wood oven.
It's not smoked, though.
There's a fucking goddamn wood smoke
Man,
when you set it ablaze.
I got some wood you can smoke, man.
No. I got a big hunger. You got a little chub like that old boy at the gas station.
Fucking Tijuana chub.
And a little chub is the coolest name for a sausage.
Yeah, man, they knew what they were doing, dude.
All right.
All right,
Let's just quit fucking off.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so right after that, I'll hit record. All right.
Yeah. We're going to go into this thing with a history lesson because to...
You came in like real hot, man. Greasy fucking crimes and give it like a beat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, first I'm going to hit you with a history lesson because to understand the order of the Solar Temple, we're going to have to look all the way back at who they're posing off of. You know what I'm saying? To understand a poser, you got to understand the root, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to know why they pose, you got to know from which they pose. So we're going to take a look into the Knights Templar. Now, I wondered if we should file this guy underneath the Illuminati files, but I'm not 100% certain there's enough concrete evidence to link this to the Illuminati that we've been talking about
No.
and classifying the files. But this is certainly a real fucky elite white guy sect in the world.
That's like LARPing, but way taken too goddamn far.
Yeah, but I mean, except that they definitely were an elite fighting unit at one point in time.
Oh, the Templar? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to that. So, now, you're familiar with the Crusades.
Yeah.
It's white Christians trying to take over the Holy Land, a.k.a. Jerusalem, which was controlled by Muslims.
Yeah.
So, just like now, how in Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip, Israel and Palestine are right next door to each other. Now, the Palestinians feel like they own this land, and the Israelis feel like they own this land. Well, the Israelis are certainly seem to be fucking assholes. I don't care about politics. Don't want to go into any of those current details because there's some shitty shit going on, but I'm not smart enough to understand what's going on to complain about it or not. You know what I mean? But anyway, the Israelis control the area now, and, you know, Islam, Christianity are essentially the same goddamn thing. It's just you basically you mad-libbed a different prophet from one or the other. Now, one of them fucked kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of them didn't have sex with anybody. So, if you got to pick one dork or the other,
Yeah.
I'm going JC. You know what I mean? Like, he never fucked any kids.
JC didn't?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You think he fucked a kid?
Yeah.
All right, man. Fuck it. We'll stick it to him too. They both fuck kids. How about that?
Yeah.
So
One of them fucks kids and goats, apparently.
man,
I know that's some kind of
I
weird.
don't know, I got no problem with fucking a goat, man.
Nah, man, they got horns. That's what taken
Yeah.
by the horns means.
That is what taken by the horns means.
Exactly, man.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I never knew. I mean, the most I would have thought about it is like you got a complicated problem, just like you got this fucking bull running amok. You got to snag that bull down by the horns. But no, it's definitely fucking right.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking
Yeah.
a goat,
Right.
or anything with a,
A
horn on
bull.
it. Yeah.
A deer.
A deer.
Is that
That's
a horn?
antlers.
That's an
Taking it by the
antler. Yeah,
antlers.
you take it by the
It's a
antlers.
horn. It's like multiple
Take
horns.
it by the horns, baby. You feel this fucking gold with gravy. You come and it makes this sound.
I think it's more high pitched.
Yeah, man, goats are fucking cool. I'm tired.
It's like Mo from Three Stooges. Is what it sounds like when you fucking goat.
I've never watched Three Stooges, man. I'm 33 years old.
Yeah.
You watched it?
Yeah.
When?
When I was a kid.
Grandparents liked it?
Yeah, they're like, you're like Red Skeleton, and you're like.
Oh,
Three
man, my
Stooges."
grandpa thought Red Skeleton was so funny, dude. Oh, my God. I remember it being like, this, look, man, I hate comics, comedians, comedy. It's the worst thing to be around most of the time. Dude, let me tell you about this guy, Red Skeleton. He was like, I don't know if you guys that listen, I know that we don't have the biggest comedy crowd, but if you've been to an open mic comedy show and you go and you'll see somebody that's just really doing the same jokes as someone else that you've seen before,
Yeah.
like just the classics, like the same jokes that your fucking uncle would tell at a family get together. Red Skeleton was that only. Like, and this was before there was straight up recorded comedy.
Is he the original Uncle Joke?
Man, no, because he was telling street jokes just in like a palatable old guy thing, and then his punchline was just like making a goofy face, like being like, "Meow." But my grandpa thought that shit was hilarious, and one time he was like, "Hey, you shouldn't. This is a little bit adult for you to watch, but I'm gonna sit you down and let you take a peek of it." And he's like, "Hey,
They break out the fucking tin of fucking shitty cookies.
yeah,
Cr-
just
holiday
like,
cookies.
yeah. Let me bring these butter cookies. Those,
Yeah.
man,
Like, it
those
looks-
aren't shitty cookies.
No,
dude.
no.
There's some good ones.
Hey,
in
the
there.
Hawaiian ones are the best though.
Oh yeah.
But they always have that one that looks like a pretzel, and you're like, man, I hope this is salty.
Yeah. Well, the ones with like the sugar crystals on them, bang. Some of them are so fucking dry and weird, but they're like the same thing. They're just different shapes. I
Hey,
guess
man,
like
those
one.
fucking ones in Hawaii, the fucking dried pineapple and the one that had the dates on them.
Oh yeah, those clap, dude. Those fucking clap. But anyway, yeah. So it's just like old fucking hacky joke. How do we even go down this fucking road?
Because it's the old people.
We're
fucking,
way off. Let's go back to it.
That's it, man.
So the Crusades were white Christians trying to take over the Holy Land, Jerusalem, and they succeeded for the first time in 1099. Now, once white Anglo-Christians took over the Holy Land, what would happen is that the more well-to-do Christians back in England or wherever in Europe they were coming from, they would make a pilgrimage because they wanted to come and see this shit for their eyes, like Jesus' tomb,
Yeah.
the temple that fell apart when Jesus was like, religion's whack.
Yeah.
And the temple broke. Remember that shit, dude? Jesus was like, you know what, son, church, all that shit, it's stupid as fuck. I'm going to break this shit down. And he broke it down, and then everyone was still just like, man, we got to go to church.
He broke it down like he broke that girl's butt.
Break it down. Dun, 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 dun.
Chris was gonna tell a fucking story about breaking a butt, like breaking a church.
Oh, you're trying to walk me into that?
Yeah.
We haven't even started this shit
It doesn't
yet.
matter,
All right,
man. It's
God damn it.
important. It's important.
Okay. Okay. So, me, as a young man, believe it or not, I was not incredibly sexually active in like high school years.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. And so I was in college, man, and I started, this girl wanted to go on a date. And that had certainly never happened to me before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't going to approach anybody myself. And she just started talking to me about hardcore. That was the thing, is like, I had an Earth Crisis shirt.
Oh yeah.
And that's what you live for if you like a real niche genre of music. What you expect to happen is one day, one girl that likes that is going to approach you, and then you're going to use your wealth of knowledge about this dumb shit
Yeah.
to woo them. And that happened. It really happened. And so, like, you know, the only, like, fooling around that I had done, I mean, I fucked, but it was, like, in a relationship. And then, of course, I was like, I got to date this woman forever.
Yeah.
And I was stuck in that fucking loop. And then that dissolved because she had sex with an old guy that was a piercing artist. And he sounded his dick. So he, like, crammed things in his dick, like, to stretch the hole.
It's called
out and shit.
sounding?
Sounding, yeah. And that's why I know
You
that.
shove something in it and then put your ear up to it to see what it sounds like.
Man, this sounds crazy. Yeah, it's called sounding.
Oh, fuck, man. That's like the Dixie Cup walkie-talkie. Doesn't work.
Yeah, that shit was a weird part of my life, man. But anyway, so, you know, I'm new to the whole fucking thing. And she just, like, wanted to come back to my room. And I was like, all right. I mean, I got this fucking Judge album we can listen to. And so we go back, and I think that she just wants to listen to the music, you know. We're, like, talking, and then she just starts making out with me. Takes her shirt off, rocking fucking knockers, dude. And I'm just like, oh, my God. And then so we start, and we went out to eat, and we ate fucking Mexican food. And we had, like that Mexican rice pudding, like that's like real thick with the chewy fucking rice in it.
Del Taco, would you go there?
No. It was just
Del
like
Taco.
a regional fucking Mexican place. And so, anyway, so we're like making out, and you know, I'm like, I mean, the whole, because I'm not that type of dude anyway, so I'm not directing. You know what I mean? I'm not like going for it. Like I'm not putting my hands in places. And, you know, she's driving. She's in charge. Like, she's making the round. She's, like, pulling it out, jacking it around, mouthing it. And then she's, like, sits on my face and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, every time something else happens, I'm like, this is fucking cool.
What did it sound like?
Yeah,
When she said on your face, could you hear it?
Nah, she wasn't practicing sounding. And then, man, she put it in, dude, and I was just like, oh, my God, dude. And we're fucking for a while, dude, and I was, like, too nervous to come. You know, you get that? And I was just like, I know it could not have been fun for her. And she got so bored, I could tell that she wanted me to fuck her in the ass. And I know she did because she told me, fuck me in the ass. And again, it's not something I'd experienced before. So hearing those words, it's like the type of thing you've been talking to your friends about since you were 9 years old. And then it just comes to you, and you're not really prepared for the occasion. So I just go, okay, and fucking crammed it in there. You know what I mean? Just raw. And she was like, wait. And I was like, okay, just go slow, real slow. I'm like, okay. So like going slow, and like it seems cool and shit. She's like, hold on 1 second. And then, you know, what that means is like, just stop what you're doing. Like, don't move your dick around anymore. But I just yanked it out. And when I did, dude, I'm talking a fountain. Just a large, continuous volume of fucking, like, not liquid diarrhea, but the one right before that. You know what I mean? Like a refried bean situation with like a texture. And dude, it just and it wasn't like
you popped the old cork before the new year.
Yeah,
huh?
right.
Oh, man.
And you like the way that I think, like the way you'd think that it would happen is like one shot of fucking shit would come out. But dude, it sounds like I'm making it up because it's so extreme, but I swear to God, it kept coming at that volume for like 40 seconds, dude. It was so much. And I'm just frozen because I'm like on my knees. And you know how you're like going doggy style and you like will pull back, but instead of like falling on your butt, you like lean over your knees, like you're like praying to the sky.
Did you barf?
Oh my God, dude! Yeah, but not like right then. Later. I was shocked, and so it was like from my chest all the way to my knees, and dude, all over my bed. And it's like, you ever like walk into a
Your grandparents walking there. I told you not to eat no whore milk chili in your bed. God damn it, boy, it smells bad here. Clean your room.
Do you ever, you know, when you like go into a gas station and you see like the side of a toilet with a giant fucking spray of shit on it, and you're like, how the fuck did that get there? That's how it got there. And it was like on the wall, all over the bed, on my pillow. And I had and again, it's the same shit because I'm frozen in fear. And I'm nervous about the sex, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And then by the time it catches up to me that this is really shit, and this really happened, is when the smell gets a hold of me. So before I can even formulate,
She's a vegan, wasn't she?
before I can even formulate a plan, I'm just start. And so I get up to run to the fucking bathroom, and of course when I stand up, then shit gets all over the floor, and I'm fucking running to the bathroom, and I get in the bathroom, and I'm fucking throwing up, and now there's shit that was all over my chest and my knees is all over the toilet, all over the bathroom floor, and I stand up to get in the shower, and I do like a squeegee move, and I put my hands like on my chest and just fucking go like this, and it goes. And fucking, that's how much shit there was. It's unbelievable. And she's like embarrassed, you know. And I shower, I come back, and she's like real cool about it, you know. Like she's cleaning everything up. She's like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, what even do I do? I'm so sorry about this. Like, I'll do whatever I can. And I'm like, we'll just clean it up. It's cool, you know.
Oh, we'll clean it up?
Yeah, man, I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not cleaning it up.
Trying
Nobody
I still want to come, all right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
I got you.
again, we're not putting our dick in a lot of stuff. So we take that out to the laundry room, put everything into the washing machine, and as soon as we push start on the machine, this fucking 4 giant black dudes walk in and go, "What the fuck?" And that was pretty much it, man.
Yeah.
I tried to hang out with her again, and she told me no.
Wow.
Yeah, she turned me down.
Yeah. Well, you're just the type of person to shit on. I mean,
Yeah.
you're lucky that they didn't turn into like a thing. Like where you're like, man, no. We're not having sex unless you got a huge bowel movement going on.
Yeah. I mean,
Stop by the old KFC.
it would be kind of a cool thing to be into. And yeah, that's what's weird too, is because every time we talk about a serial killer, it's like what happens to you in your young days is what like shapes your. I didn't like that.
Well, at least you didn't get a spoon and try to like pick it up and push it through your teeth.
Man,
bunch,
it smelled real fucking bad, dude. I mean, you know what shit smells like? Out of water. That's why toilets are ingenious, because someone figured out at some point that water really fucking quelches that horrible, hot, burning inside smell.
You remember whenever you still can. You can still buy popcorn. You put it on the stovetop. You got the seeds in it.
Yeah.
Man, you could have been called Orville Redencocker. You take the corn out of a turd and push it around your tooth a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
sure,
fucking
man.
pop
Great.
it up.
Okay. Can we do like the regular podcast now?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah. I
perfect.
just
Great.
needed
I'm
to
so
get
glad.
that.
All right, cool.
All right.
So again, the Crusades. Man, what's going on is that all of the Anglo-Saxons that want to go see where Jesus walked, where Jesus died, they are traveling to the Holy Land. Now, the Christians completely control all of Jerusalem. There, it's not a problem. You don't have anything to worry about. I mean, when you think about the year 1099, it's essentially what Disneyland would be. You know, it's corporatized. Everything's there to make money. They got souvenirs. They got police. Everything's cool. But on the way there, all these savages are just lying in wait to catch a pilgrim slipping so they can come and maraud that ass. You got bandits. You got marauders. And they're killing and stealing everything they can from pilgrims. And it becomes a huge problem. So, French knight Hugues de Payens and King Baldwin II of Jerusalem, he's the king of Jerusalem. He is the Anglo in charge of Jerusalem. They decided to create a monastic order, which is a group of monks.
Yeah.
Holy dudes that have pledged their life to Jesus to protect the pilgrims. They were given a wing in a Assize mosque named Al-Aqsa, which is believed to be built upon the ruins of Solomon's Temple, which is a monumental holy location for both Muslims and Christians. So the order in this wing took the name Poor Knights of Christ and the Temple of Solomon, or Templar, Poor Knights of Templar. That just being that they're of that temple.
Yeah.
So the reason that they're poor knights is because they're monks, a pious people.
Yeah.
They've dedicated their lives to the church, so they don't have a way of earning income. It's just these monks, and they're knights, and they're going to be trained, and they have trained, and again, they're fighters that have dedicated their life to the Lord. So their income is what get. This is where if you know anything about the Knights Templar before I explain it to you, you'll know why that's funny. The order was about 9 knights to start with, and like I said, they were poor, so they relied on donations just to survive. And this poor knight shit didn't last very long. The church got super horny over these holy boys, and they were given insane amounts of gifts because right away it was folklore. You know,
Yeah.
the Catholic Church was like, you guys got what going on? You guys got monks that are super tough knights that are protecting Christians pilgriming to the Holy Lands.
Is that where Kung Fu monks originated?
Yeah, sure. They just got fired the fuck up over these basically living legends, you know, this holy fighting force. So they give them land, money, businesses, and then they start giving them new recruits from noble-born families who are all eager to help in the Holy Land. And basically what that means, if you're not a fucking dork like we are and don't understand like knights and kings and Game of Thrones type living,
Yeah.
a noble-born family means that you are royalty or close to royalty, and that your kid was probably, if you were a male, going to be a knight.
Okay.
Or some type of holy order. So they were going to be trained, and their father had been trained, so chances are you're getting the best stock of people. They were
That's
going to
cool.
fight. And so the Templars grew, and then as they got bigger and bigger, and their fighting force got larger, they were given exemption of obedience of all laws.
Sweet.
So they were allowed to pass any border. They paid no taxes, and the only person who could give them any direction was the Pope himself.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, no matter how holy and pious you are, and this would happen today. It would happen anytime anyone gets this much freedom of reign to do whatever they want to. There's gonna be some fucking shit that erupts, you know?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna to abuse the privilege, of course. And now they became shock troops in big crusade battles. And what a shock troop is means that they shock the other team, because you know that back in the day, combat was kind of a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
You would have battle lines, and they would line up against each other, and you would essentially agree to engage each other in fair combat. And then whoever won was decided to get the choice of what they wanted, right?
Yeah.
So like, let's say you wanted to raid a city. Well, the shitty thing to do that would make everybody hate you is if you just stormed it without word. And that would be hard to do too, because they keep watch. They see who's coming. But the right way to do it, if you're going to be a civil diplomat about the whole thing and not make everyone hate you, is you would alert the city like, hey, we're taking over. Here's our giant fucking army. We're going to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, you have a choice. One, you can lay down and decide, I don't want any part of this shit, and we'll just take over. No problem. No one dies. Two, we're going to stomp your fucking ass.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And if I don't show up, you guys kill me, that's what's going to happen anyway. So then they would say, nah, no deal. We're going to fuck you up. And then that would give them time to prepare, get their troops out there, and you would have battle lines. And you would engage each other in combat, made the best man win, winner takes all. You know that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's regular old school chivalry shit. But a shock troop, which is what the knights were, is they would show up. The knights would be armed to the tits. And they would surprise the advance in front of the battle lines by speeding in and attacking big guys, well-trained, lots of armor, in front of the battle line. So they would do an ambush.
Yeah.
So they had, the other side was prepared for combat this way, and then boom, all of a sudden, you're fighting this fucking group of people that you didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
Cheating, essentially.
Yeah.
And they were under direction of the Pope, and they were under direction of God. So it didn't matter how shitty what the thing is that they did. It was God's orders, so it didn't matter, right? And that helped out England. It helped out Catholicism because, as we know, the Catholic Church, even now, the Vatican, it's its own country. They have their own laws. That's how it was in 1099. But they controlled a lot of the world.
The Vatican is so fucking sketchy, man.
Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. Now, if you go back and listen to Illuminati Files Volume 1, you'll find out some of the dark secrets, and we'll certainly continue to uncover the mysteries of Catholic religion. But at this time, they're a world power.
Yeah.
Just the Catholic Church is a world power. Now, most knights, again, they're noble-born. They didn't fight. They spent their time basically inventing modern banking. The Knights Templar figured out ways to gather currency, and they were getting tons of donations. Again, the church is in power. They're getting donations from the church, and people that want to get involved with taking over the Holy Land, which is the most righteous cause you can have. You're
Yeah.
reclaiming God's land for God's real people, the Christians, and you're providing Jesus his place back. And so people are eager to give tons of money to them. They're caked out. And so they start coming up with these plans. Again, they're also taxed with protecting pilgrims. That's still their thing. And so they come up with checks. They invented checks. And the idea is that you could go from Europe to Jerusalem with your money, but it would be in your bank account. You could go and you could write a check for however much you wanted, just like it is today, and then the Templars would ensure that that money would get from point A to point B. So you could travel without physical protection because no one would rob you of your check. You couldn't use that check. You're Arabian. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious that you're not William Smith.
Getting hot checked.
And then letters of credit. They came up with the idea of credit. So
I knew it.
based upon how much money you have, these are the guys. And again, you got to think, this is in Israel. That's where this order is located at. They're under the order of the Vatican. This is the most money in the world conglomerated right here. And so these guys come up with the idea that, okay, if we have somebody that's entrusted their money to us, and we can transfer it from point A to point B. Well, we know we have this much of their money. Now, let's say they want to build something.
Yeah.
Well, we could allow them to build it, finance their build, and it's going to cost more than what they have, but they're going to keep earning, so we could charge them for lending them this money. That straight up came from the Templars.
Well, that throws out the old conspiracy that the Jews run all the money, man. The Christians are the ones that fucking fucked it all up.
Yeah, I mean, man, you say that, but it is in Jerusalem.
Yeah, it's got Jew in the name.
But they were this. I mean, this made them the first multinational corporation, which the business that they were in is banking. So the conspiracy that the Knights Templar is the origin of the Illuminati. You've heard that before, I'm sure, buddy.
Yeah.
And in reality, this was an elite group of wealth cultivated by the Catholic Church above normal law, and everything they did was highly secretive. And they don't have anyone to answer to. So they can do whatever they want to, anytime they want to. So they're just inventing all this shit and implementing it under no one's orders.
How many original knights were there? Did you know?
9 to start with.
There's 9.
There was 9 to start with, but it grew into 10,000 probably.
Yeah.
So King Philip V of France was deep in debt to the Templars for his war with the English because they gave him a line of credit. He was at war with the English. Now, again, a lot of these guys are English, a lot of them are French, but they're under the governing body of the Catholic Church. So they don't have allegiance to a country. So if you needed to borrow money to go to war with a country, where are you going to go?
Knight
The
Templar.
goddamn Knights. So King Philip V owed them a ton of money. Friday the 13th. A lot of people think this is the origin of that. October 13th. What the fuck? I wrote the year down, but I'm sorry. October 13th, 1307. So we're talking about 300 years down the road. I mean, this is I'm reading it like it's all happening congruently, but I mean, this has been a 300-year gap. But this has all gone. I mean, they've conquered the Crusades lasted for I think like 100 years.
Yeah.
And then you had like the Dark Ages, I think, were after. I don't know. I don't want to fuck it up because I've definitely been busted online for fucking mucking up history before. It doesn't matter. In this 300 years, the Templar grew exponentially. I mean, they're a force, they're a business, they're the Catholic Church's muscle, and they're also running their own money. So King Philip ordered the French Templars all to be arrested. The warrant started, this is what the warrant said to start with. So he writes a warrant for the Templars to get arrested. Here's how the warrant started. God is not pleased. We have enemies of faith in the kingdom. And the warrant made claims that during Templar admission ceremonies, recruits were forced to spit on the cross, deny Christ, engage in indecent kissing, brethren were accused of worshiping idols, and the entire order was said to have encouraged homosexual practices. Now, the Templar caught plenty of other cases outside of the religious aspects of this: financial corruption, fraud, and secrecy.
Which it all ties into the whole Illuminati thing because, it's like you got Bohemian Grove where they they did hire gay porn stars to service the parties and did that. That's not a conspiracy. They did that for sure.
Yeah, and it was for blackmail, you know.
Yeah, and it was, and then you know, the whole Satan thing, you know, involving Luciferianism and things like that. So, you know, it's always things shrouded in secrecy. No good deeds are done in the light.
All right, JFK, don't get your wig split.
No.
And now, under torture, and this is a time of the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. Well, everyone else implemented the same shit too. So the French tortured the fuck out of these guys, and under torture, they admitted to worshiping Baphomet, and they found a mummified head, which they said that they admitted to worshiping, and the head is assumed to be the head of John the Baptist.
Yeah.
So they
That's
all
cool.
Yeah. They all and there could be a real cool reason, because, you know, John the Baptist was like one of the original followers of Jesus, and he was running around in this. Whoa, that came out. They were running around in the streets, or John the Baptist was running around saying the word of Christ, and the king was like, "Who is this dipshit?" And they're like, "Oh, it's John the Baptist." And they're like, "Why are all these people listening to him?" And they're like, "Well, he's talking about Jesus. You know, he died for our sins. He's coming back." He's like, that's bullshit." And John the Baptist won't stop, and he's like, "Man, make this guy stop." But he's still just out there wilding out, not listening to the king, which really pisses the king off. So the king or the queen or one of those royal shits are like, "I need this guy's head on a silver platter. Bring it to me." So they go out, they cut his fucking head off, and they bring the royalty, his head, on a silver platter.
Which makes total sense, because I think, like, you know, Egypt wasn't that far away from there, and they had already figured out how to preserve bodies and everything, so they could preserve a head.
Yeah, I believe it. But yeah, I mean, if they were if they were worshiping it because it was John the Baptist and he was a martyr, boo-hoo, that honks. But if they worshipped it because it was a Christian that got fucking beheaded and there was his head that the king wanted because Christians honk, that claps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had to decipher that for a second. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like what you did.
So Pope Clement issued a papal bull, which is basically a decree which instructed Christian monarchs in Europe to arrest all the Templars and seize their assets, which is twofold. Great for the church because they're getting the assets, and also he's kind of looking out for the Knights Templar because that's taking away the power of France to hold them, torture them, etc. You understand? So he's saying that the Pope is who needs the Templar. He's arresting them. So that's going to take fucking King Philip's hold off of them, free them, and then now they have to go back to the Pope, and he wants them to have papal hearings to determine the Templars' guilt or innocence. Now, once they are under Pope control and not being tortured anymore of the Inquisition-style torturing, and when I say Inquisition, I'm not talking about the pedophile black metal band. I'm talking about like Spanish-style torturing and questioning, much like we do today with waterboarding, but it was shit like ramming nails under your fingernails and cutting the webbings of the bottom of your tongue and fucking cutting your dick open and soaking it in salt.
So you could be like chowing pussy real good if you cut the webbing of your tongue?
I don't know, man.
It would make it
I don't
longer?
think you would ever want to mess with your tongue again if somebody cut that bottom part. Dude, one of the most...
It's just a clit.
Man, one of the worst I've ever felt before in any movie was Jackass, where Steve-O did that shit. Oh, my God. With the paper cuts? Yeah, dude.
In
my
between
God.
his fingers?
Oh, no, he did it to his tongue, too.
Did he?
Yes.
And his toes?
Oh, my God. That
He
shit
also
was...
butt chugged a beer and sprayed it on everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I felt great about that.
That's so cool, man. He fucking butt foamed him.
But, dude, the paper cuts, man, fuck. So, yeah, they were just ripping him apart, torturing him like that. And as soon as that wasn't happening to him, all the Templars recanted their confession. They were like, look, we're being tortured. We just want the fuck out of there. So we said whatever they wanted to. And then Philip blocked the order of the Pope, which is some real shit back in the day. Like, fuck you, Pope. No. Here's what they confessed. So he had tons of Templars burned at the stake.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. Now, the elderly Grand Master of the Templars, Jacques de Molay, who had also confessed under torture to all these things, retracted his confession even in the face of death. He was proclaimed guilty of being a relapsed heretic.
God damn.
So he too was sentenced to be burned at the stake. They lit that ass on fire in Paris. De Molay remained defiant the entire time and asked to be tied with his hands praying, facing Notre Dame. From the flames, this old bastard yells, God knows who is wrong and who has sinned. Soon a calamity will occur to those who have condemned us to death. Well, Pope Clement died 1 month later. King Philip died just a few months later in a hunting accident.
Oh, man.
So the Templars' property ended up being absorbed by their rivals, the Knights Hospitaller, who also absorbed the remaining members, and that would probably be what we would consider the end of the Templar. They were merged with their rivals. However, some Templar organizations bailed and changed their names to the Order of Christ and the parallel, more sketchy order, Supreme Order of Christ of the Holy See. Like I'll see an eye.
Damn. This is cool, man.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Damn, brother.
And so, what happened with the Knights Templar is literally the thing of conspiracy theorists' wet boner dreams. You got so much that it correlates with every single conspiracy theory of the world that you can tie to it. You got the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
The Knights Templar supposedly held the Ark of the Covenant. And everyone knows from watching Indiana Jones, reading the Bible, that is the most powerful artifact. It literally contains, God's fucking chalice or some shit.
Yeah.
No one knows exactly what it is. It's assumed to be a cup, right? The cup that Jesus drank out of?
That is the, I don't think it's the Ark of the Covenant. I think it's the Holy Grail.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But it's some holy shit. Again, I don't want to fuck it up.
But there's a bunch of shit that ties in with this, man. Listen, I've been recommending this for a while, and we'll do it at some point. But Joan of Arc, she was a teenager, I believe, when she was doing this whole shit with the Catholic Church, and she was a great warrior or whatever. But Gilles de Rais, I think is his name. He was a serial killer and known satanic worshiper and killed kids, but he fell in love with her, you know.
Yeah.
And so it all ties into that.
Big surprise.
Yeah, big surprise. But, man, that dude's a fucking wild fucker, too.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But we'll get into that.
We'll for sure do an episode on that fucking crazy asshole. But the thing is that this is fueled because it's a perfect story.
Yeah.
You just had this group of people who were on the side of Jesus, and then they all of a sudden got all these rich, white, prominent royal families conglomerated into one group, and they made credit. They made currency. Money, checks, credit. That's what the world entirely runs on now. So it's not too far out of the frame to look back and say that the origin of that kind of does lead to all the bullshit of the modern world. If you look in reality or you look in the conspiracy world, but again, there's ties to Jesus, there's ties to UFOs, there's ties to all types of kooky shit. And we'll certainly be breaking more of that down in the next episode because there's so many offshoots of that. There's so many people who have taken that idea and tried to run with it. The Masons, Freemasons, that's completely 100% from that lineage, totally based on rituals that were done by the Knights Templar. And basically almost every fraternal organization that is like a white dude thing is essentially from that.
When you get into from the Knights Templar to the Rosicrucian to the Freemasons, it's like these dudes that were fucking stonemasons that built these holy temples and all this other shit with a lot of symbology and mathematics and all this other shit, which is really unique in and of itself. I actually have a couple buddies that are Freemasons, but they don't believe in Jesus. They're into the occult and shit, which is fucking cool. But
man, cool's a strong word, brother.
Well, the word
in my experiences, it sounds real cool. But let me tell you this: last time I was in Chicago, I went into an occult bookstore, and I looked for occult things in Chicago. Now, this occult bookstore is one of the top 10 occult bookstores around. I go to it, dude. It's just loud ass incense. You walk in the door, you can hear the smells. Yeah. And I looked around, and I was just dressed like normal, and I'm browsing, and I'm getting a fucking headache because you know how I am about like perfume smells. It's fucking me up. There's a couple of cats in there and a couple of fats in there, and they're sitting behind the counter perusing through magic spells or what the fuck ever. They're playing like Yanni on the speakers. There's a lot of crystals around. And I'm looking around, man, and I'm getting disinterested, and I'm about to walk out, and that guy goes, "Oh, I can tell you're looking for the dark arts." And I was like, gee, what gave it away? And he's like, well, we don't have anything like that here, but you can look in this section. And I go over to where he pointed at, and the only cool book I found in the whole place was called Tantric Jesus, inferring that Jesus not only fucked, but he held it for a long time.
Yeah.
So fuck the occult, man.
Hey man, there's a real there's I don't know, I can't remember the name of these fucking occult bookstores, but there's one in Salem and there's one in New Orleans, and I've been to the one in New Orleans, and I got a cool goddamn book on some fucking French black magic and some other shit. But hey, it's fucking sweet, man. That French black magic book talks about cutting the head off of a thief, cutting his fucking eye out, putting a seed in that son of a bitch, and then fucking burying it, and then growing something so you can do some kind of cool potion.
A fucking thief tree.
That's cool, man.
That's
That's good.
Go up there and pick some thief fruit.
Yeah, man. Hey, New Orleans is my fucking favorite, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, but it's also a whole crock of bullshit because everyone knows you can't plant a person and have something grow out of it.
I don't know, man. It turns into dead shit, makes fucking things grow, don't it?
Yeah, but you can't plant a person and grow something.
It rots,
And then what?
turns into goddamn.
Let's go to a cemetery right now, and you tell me.
You ever seen the grass at a cemetery? It's fucking green as shit.
Right, yeah, it's that ripe fucking dead people grass.
Except for that one spot I peed on because it's rotted.
You put a piss rot in the cemetery?
Yeah, there was a
Man.
nun buried in one of them. I went to a Catholic one and pissed on it.
You didn't do that.
Yes, I did.
Why?
It's fun. I was fucking
dude.
ripped.
Oh,
I
man.
was by myself drunk.
You
Of course,
just said that. You're like, here's a nun. I'm pissing on
yeah, of
it.
course, I was just listening to fucking a bunch of fucking root and fucking battery the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Well, that's cool. All right, so this has been a dangerous doctrine for a lot of different people. It's emboldened the Nazis, for example, several different white power orders, because again, it's Anglo roots, and they get this idea that Jesus made them a superior race, and they're taxed with carrying on the holy word and war for Jesus. And you just get.
Or they put that front on anyway.
I mean, but yeah, they put whatever they do with it, they just do. I mean, dude, look, man. Again, I don't like talking about politics, but every time somebody comes up with some white power movement, let's just be real here. They're fucking dorks, man.
Oh yeah.
This is the only, like, when people are like, this is a dangerous movement. Like, have you seen these people? You know,
Man,
like, I understand Timothy McVeigh like bombed a building, right?
No, the FBI did that shit.
Okay, and then I can follow that, because if you take a look at Timothy McVeigh, man, it's
Yeah.
like, come on, guys, like, this is what we're afraid of.
Yeah.
This is a threat. Like, man, make that guy fight like Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the thing is, like, all those white power dudes who go to prison, they're all buff and shit. But listen, the great equalizer is two things:
Be very careful here, please.
jiu-jitsu
Okay.
and guns.
Yeah. Well, they've got guns. They love guns.
Yeah, they
They're
love
horny for
guns.
guns.
Yeah.
I've been talking about militia shit like all week. It's the dorkiest.
Dude, that's white power shit.
Yeah, it always is. It's always that shit. Like, yeah, man. What we do? See, what you got here is
Constitution.
Now, first of all, now, goddamn it, they came to this country and they proclaimed this motherfucker for Christ Himself. And when they did that on this here rock, they said, y'all could get together and form a militia and take up arms against a corrupt government. Now, let me tell you something. Y'all elected a black man, Barack Obama, and that is the height of corruption. So, just to be prepared for this man. Now, what y'all don't know about Barack Obama is that he's the son of a pharaoh in Egypt who is magically tied to an order of the world that came from gray aliens that are branched off of the Nibiru planet X.
I mean, hell, he looks Egyptian as fuck.
And
You ever seen King Tut before? That's what that some bitch looks like.
when he came back as King Tut II, he's trying to open up a portal that's going to usher in Armageddon. Only he's not going to be on Jesus' side. So we get together 4 times a week out in this field with all our shit, and we fucking shoot shit and blow it up to prepare for when they usher in the age of the Antichrist, because we're going to be ready to kick his fucking ass. We're a militia that have formed together against it, and we're working hard to preserve this country. You understand what I mean, brother?
Yeah, man. You know what I heard? I heard over there in like different places where they got war. We dropped a couple gay bombs on people, made straight people turn gay. You ever
Yeah.
heard about that conspiracy? Well, it ain't no conspiracy because there's a bunch of them out there sucking dicks and doing all kinds of dumb shit. You know what? I don't like the color pink. Fucking popping your collars. You know what? That's for people out in Jersey. We don't do that. That ain't even part of America. That's part of fucking gay planet.
All right, great. Thanks for taking that fucking
I'm
run.
so- I'm hammered.
You really did a good job on that one.
It's better than the. Nah, there ain't nothing better than that shit story.
So here's another sect of fucking ding-dongs that got together and formed the Order of the Solar Temple. Now, some allege the temple was started by French author Jacques Brière in 1952. And then in 1968, a schismatic order was renamed the Renewed Order of the Solar Temple, or ROTS for short, under French right-wing political activist Julien Aurix. The problem with secret societies is that it's a goddamn secret, so it's hard to trace back the accurate roots. Either way, when this started to come into prime time, this motherfucker, Luc Jouret, who is a white power, Nazi-leaning gentleman who was part of a neo-fascist organization who were of the typical ilk that was, we gotta secure the white future and get rid of all immigrants and take this pure line of race and wipe out all the muds of the world. Same goofy ass shit that they all get involved in. And then he was trying to become the leader of the organization that he was in. Didn't pan out for him, so what's he do? But goes and starts his own organization. And when he came together with this, now, also, of course, he was a Freemason. He was heavily into Golden Dawn, Aleister Crowley shit.
Yeah.
Same as every goddamn one of these morons. It's always the same story.
He's
It's
a
Crowley,
fucking geek.
Aleister Crowley, fucking... I mean, if we would have had Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons to put in front of this guy, it probably would have caused a lot less trouble. Now, their main ideals were the correct notions of authority and power in the world, whites, an affirmation of the primary, God damn, my fucking brain. Sorry.
You need me to read it, man.
God, no. An affirmation of the primacy of spiritual, overtly temporal. It's just dumb shit. Essentially, the second thing they're worried about is to assert that Christianity is the number one thing. But they got a weird idea about Christianity and assisting humanity through a great transition, aka Armageddon, the second coming of Christ. But they have this idea that when Christ comes back, instead of being Jesus, like it says in the Bible, who comes back and kicks fucking the devil's fucking ass in a physical holy war in front of all of God's chosen people, which sounds cool as fuck, but never happens, and every secret society and cult uses that as bait to pull in all these dorks and then just shit on them, and it never, ever happens.
Khakis, New Balances, and a shitty polo shirt.
Never fails. Same formula. But they proclaim that Christ is going to come back as a solar god king, not unlike some Egyptian mythology, Norse mythology, and their idea is that they're going to unify Islam's and Christianity. And not in the cool way like, hey, guys, we're pretty fucking similar. Why don't we just throw the bullshit aside and all get along cohesively in one area? I mean, like, stomp out the fucking Islamics and take over with Christianity, just like in the Crusades, because they think that they're part of the Knights Templar and they're moving along. Now, their beliefs and their ceremonies are all a mix of Christian identity. Crowley, and Aleister Crowley, of course, was the head of the Order of the Eastern Temple. A lot of people forget that shit, but he was in some real goofy Masonic Lodge, white power type of shit himself.
Ordo Temple something or another.
Yeah, dumb
But he wasn't
shit.
a Christian.
No, he wasn't a Christian, but that was always like a guise, you know?
Yeah.
There's always a fallback, and there, you know, he had all these beliefs, and we've talked about it before, like, all he wanted to do was get fucked in the ass.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, he had all these secret potions, magic powers, ceremonies, spells. He wrote them all. He wrote them all down. He did extensive work. He wrote fucking thick books. All these ideas of how to meditate, how to be spiritual, how to use your mind to manifest things that you want to happen, and all these different ways to get there. But the end fucking goal, what it took to make it all happen, was to fuck him in the ass. That was always the one.
Yeah.
And that was everything. So if you can't decipher that, and you take, it's like taking the Bible literally. You understand?
Yeah.
You fall into all this dumb shit and like, oh yeah, like we're in communion with the dead. We're getting all these fucking things worked up. Like, yeah, but you're missing a crucial formula, which is fucking a man in the ass. And if you're not doing that, you're not into the full circle, which is really the end goal.
That's
like,
the thing with secret societies, though, is they're always like that. They're like, we know all the truths, and the other people don't because
Yes.
they're all just goats and lambs, and they're fucking dumb.
You gotta take 'em by the
lambs.
horns.
They're lambs. They're not goats.
Yeah.
They're lambs.
Lambs and lambs.
And then there's a shepherd who knows all the knowledge, and some people tie in the occult with fucking Christianity to
Mhm.
tell everybody the secrets of the universe, except for not everybody, only a select fucking few.
Yeah, and again, this is 1984, so they're one of the groups that thinks that the Ark of the Covenant is actually UFOs. So they're mixing in their UFO religion, they mix in some New Age ideas, and then a lot of Freemason rituals. Which again, man, this shit sounds like it could be fun. You know? Like, the whole thing, yeah, that Yanni shit. The whole thing with like magic and occult and knights and all this sorcery and soldier shit, like it sounds like fucking fun. Like if you're just having a good time, no harm, no foul. You know, it's just like going to church, but way cooler because you could read about Jesus and have some stuffy guy preach to you and sing songs, or you could be having these weird ass rituals with robes and cool jewelry and incense and fucking books and candles and sage and getting fucked up on LSD thinking about shit. You know, that's way more fun. So if you're doing that, no problem. But these people always take it too far. Now, the other leader, Jarrett, his main goal was to get attractive, well-off members, like the Knights Templar, who again got people of noble blood, and at the end of it, it's reputed that several affluent European families were secret members of the group. Now, again, we've talked about this with Illuminati things in the past. It's always attractive for rich people to find a place where they can go do sketchy shit in secret.
Yeah.
So if you have a secret society and you're doing a good job of not letting people see what's going on in there, there's a good chance you're going to get some rich guys that want to come and do cocaine there and jack off on glass coffins and shit.
Yeah. That's tight.
Yeah, and so the way that this worked within the group is we know a lot, not more about it than Freemasonry, but since they're quasi-defunct, I mean, there's still things active about it, but there's been a couple of books written from people who went through the main ordeal of this. The Synarchy of the...
That's disinformation, brother.
Disinformation. Now, the Synarchy of the Temple. Their membership was a secret top 33 members that were known as the Elder Brothers of the Rosy Cross. Which, what was that thing you said?
The Rosicrucian.
Rosicrucian. That's just a short. That's just a.
That's why 33rd degree Freemasonry is the highest point, supposedly.
But you could go way beyond
You can go to
that
the
if you get the
200th
true
degree.
key of the Illuminati.
You can be the 200th. You can be a 200th degree vampire, blood sucking. You can kill anybody you want through magic practices.
Now, the top 33 members, known as the Elder Brothers of the Rosy Cross, which is a play on the Rosicrucian. Headquarters are in Zurich, Switzerland.
Yep.
That's where they're all at.
That's also where Celtic Frost is from.
Yes. Is it Celtic Frost or Celtic Frost?
It's Celtic Frost.
You
dude.
sure?
Yeah, man. I saw a thing where he was like, "No, that's dumb."
Okay.
And my goddamn
I've heard
Irish.
Tom say it two ways, man. I've heard.
No, he was like, "It's
All right.
Celtic Frost."
Yeah. Well, he also has got a weird fucking mouth, so.
Yeah, well, he's from Zurich.
Man, I was listening to fucking Morbid Tales just today.
Man, that's fucking,
Banging record, dude.
that's how you kick somebody's ass.
Oh, man,
without
I
that's
Get
that's-
revved up.
You become an audible black belt, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was having to cut food today, and I needed to go fast,
Yeah.
so I put on Morbid
Yeah,
Tales.
Tom
man.
G presents you a black belt when you listen.
Man, I love him. All right, so the progression in the order is by grades and levels. 3 grades per level. The 3 levels are the Brothers of Parvis, the Knights of the Alliance, and the Brothers of the Ancient Times.
Whoa, Magic the fucking Gathering.
Yeah. Now, they had lodges set up like I was talking about, and it's basically like you would see a Masonic lodge today. They're all secrety-decrety. Each lodge had altars. Every week they had rituals, and the reason you know these people had money is because they had elaborate costumes, and like the Masons, members had to pay a fee to go up in rank. And you had to buy all the goofy accoutrements, the rings, the necklaces, the crowns, the goofy shit yourself to move up.
Taekwondo.
Yes.
It's Taekwondo.
Just
man.
like that.
That's where Taekwondo originated from.
The Freemasons.
Yeah.
Break on the 33 boards. Now,
You got a test, brother? You got that money? It's $33.
graduated.
Here we go. You have gone up in the upper echelons of fucking mastery of kicks.
Hell yeah.
Kick somebody's fucking head off and decapitate them like we used to do back in the olden days.
Now, that would be cool.
It's possible.
No, it's not.
You gotta charge your goddamn chi.
Okay, yeah.
You're not charging
yeah,
your
yeah.
chi, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You got to really get in there. And I think if you get fucked in the ass, it's really going to help.
Man,
That's what really opens
that's
up
why
the
so many of
magic
those
gate.
guys have to get hip replacements, brother.
Because they just get their fucking hole pounded.
If you
to
get
the
your ass fucked,
extreme.
you can kick a head off. Dude.
Yeah, okay. All right. So during ceremonies, the members wore crusader-type robes, which was the white robe with the red cross. That's the iconic look of the Knights Templar. And they were to behold in awe of a sword, which DiMaggio said was an authentic Templar artifact given to him thousands of years ago in a previous life.
Hey, my buddy Seth his dad was a Freemason. He
Yeah.
got the coolest goddamn sword from his dad.
I've seen it. It is fucking cool.
It's fucking cool, man.
That's the type of goofy shit I'm talking about.
But you know what, man? I wonder how many fucking heads that's cut. If it's from an olden time.
Man, probably none. Well, this is fake. You know, it's not really from an. You can't bring something. First of all, you don't have another life, I doubt.
Yeah.
And if that happened to be true by some fucking insane anomaly of the universe that we were proven wrong and you do reincarnate, you can't bring a fucking sword with you.
Yeah, it just gives you fucking good luck. Like, I don't know how to write good guitar riffs.
That did. Shut the fuck up. So you understand how the group works. You understand some goofy Magic the Gathering type of shit. In October of 1994, Tony Dutoit.
Wow, man. Everybody's got a twat name in France.
Yeah, man, it's always a twat. Baguette twat.
God damn it. That's a
But-
sword dueling name.
Yeah, man. Tony Dutoit, they took his infant son, Emmanuel Dutoit, at 3 months old, brought him in and killed him at the group's center in Marin Heights, Quebec, Canada. The baby had been stabbed repeatedly with a wooden stake. Now, it's believed that DiMaggio ordered the murder because he identified this baby as the Antichrist described in the Bible.
Goddamn vampire babies.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
tired
like,
of that shit.
You got your stupid myths all fucked up, dumbass. This the Antichrist. You must stab him with a stake. That's a vampire, you
Hey,
dork.
man,
Why don't you just saute
yeah.
that boy in some garlic?
To be fair, man, that is the scariest goddamn thing that there is. Thinking about a baby flying up next to your window, fogging it up, going, let me in. And you're like, man, you're so cute. I'll just let you in and take care of you. And then it fucking bites your neck.
Yeah, that's a good way to go as a vampire, is being a baby. But anyway, so this is, the leader is DiMaggio. He describes this child as the Antichrist in the Bible. Now, he believed that the Antichrist just so happened to be born into the order to prevent DiMaggio from succeeding in his spiritual aim.
He just protected us, dude.
He just protected us. Now, we're going to get to part 2 of this, because if you think that them murdering a 3-month-old infant with a wooden stake is as bad as it gets, god damn it, you're real fucking wrong. Next week, we're going to reconvene and talk about the rest of this wacky shit. Don't look it up online. Don't fuck it up for yourself. Come along with us, the Death Metal Dicks.
Man, hey, this is cool, man. I saw something on this shit, but it was this dumb fucking show on Netflix, and it was full of fucking crap. And don't watch it. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Full of crap.
It's fucking dumb, man. This is way cooler, man. Listen, so you got a fucking sword dueling fucking retards.
Yeah.
You got a fucking...
yeah.
Vampire-
I don't think it's cool to say that. You got to stick with feet, brother.
Oh, cripples? That's the same shit. And then you got fucking vampire babies? Fuck
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
scary as hell.
Yeah.
And then you got dudes fucking carrying around the head of goddamn John the Baptist.
Ark of the Covenant.
That's the coolest bobblehead you could have in your car.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah. The bobblehead of the mummified head of John the Baptist. We should market those.
At some point, we got to get
Boys,
that, dude.
If you want to help us get our merch funds up, patreon.com/deathmetaldicks. That's what we do.
You want a
with the
John
money.
the
We crank
Baptist
out
head
merch.
bobblehead?
Yeah, we can make that
All
happen.
zombied and cut up and fucked up.
Woo!
That's cool, man. Maybe his body's a dick.
Now, here at Death Metal Dicks, like I told you at the beginning, what we do is we compare gruesome true and fake crimes, which this certainly has elements of both, and we compare them to death metal songs. The song we chose this week is Necronomicon, Temple of the Sun. Now, if you want to hear Buddy read the lyrics, you'll have to become a patron, and you can hear him stumble and bumble through our secret Patreon episode, which is our secret society, next week on Patreon.
You have to, get up in the echelons of fucking black beltery. You want to cut somebody's fucking head off?
Yeah.
You join Patreon.
Yeah.
With a kick?
You're just allowed to do it, man. We give you our blessing. You know what? If you become a patron, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. Just tell the cops. Yeah, man.
Your horse stance gets fucking good.
Yeah, you
There's
get
nobody. Somebody kicks you in the nuts. You're like, I
good
don't
at
give a
karate.
fuck.
You
Your
should
balls
go
are steel.
fight somebody right away to see if this works too.
It does.
Yeah. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, if you like this podcast, we love you. Help us out easily, giving us a 5-star review on iTunes with some feedback. Thank you. Patreon.com/deathmetaldicks. That is a tremendous help to us. We use that money not to fucking live high off the hog, but to print cool merch. You can get a shirt there. Also, if you want a shirt from us, I got some, so you can just get in contact with me. Any of our social media. We got a real cool group on Facebook. Just look up Death Metal Dicks. You'll see closed group. Just ask to join it. Anyone can. It's just closed to keep out the riffraff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I denied a lady that was like a devout Christian the other day.
Man, what if she's what if she's using that Christianity occult blanket? You know what I mean? And you just fucked something cool up.
Well, I definitely didn't.
Yeah, Yeah, you're probably right.
Was there any pictures of fucking dead vampire babies on the profile? No.
I'd highly doubt it.
Blood-sucking vampire babies.
You got to do that shit in secret.
I mean, I guess, but if they're out there,
well,
dude.
No one said it was a vampire baby but you. He thought it was the Antichrist, which to me seems way gnarlier than a vampire. Because there's a lot of vampires. There's only one Antichrist.
Yeah, but I mean, they all originated from the devil.
Man, that's fucking true. That's real fucking true, man. The devil is basically the king of everything cool.
The first
man.
vampire is
do
Judas Iscariot, dog.
Well, yeah, you are on that weird conspiracy about that, huh?
I'm not really on it, but I mean, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know. But
y'all just watch Dracula 2000. That's what that's about.
Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and slay 'em, and I'm back at my Dracula.
I don't know if that's it, but that Slayer song is similar. That fucking Bloodline song by Slayer is the same shit.
Do it, baby. Hungry like. Why am I doing this? I'm just looking for some names.
Hey, y'all need to keep some fucking sharpened oak around your house because vampire babies, they're abundant. You don't think they are, man? They hide in the shadows. They come up and breathe on your fucking windows, make a fog.
Yeah, man, get that sharpened oak. You see a vampire baby, give it a poke. But man, we'd like to thank our fucking patrons. There's a tier of patronage you could get where you're essentially a producer on the show. We shout you out in every episode. And not only that, but you're goddamn allowed to pick an episode for us, which I think is the coolest fucking reward in all podcasting. We got Cam Catron. Just his birthday, patron, thank you. Bobby Henderson. We've done episodes for him. He picked a kick-ass fucking bolt thrower song. We made it happen. Ryan Parker also picked some murders. Cool fucking dude. Matt Mess. Casey Gayden. We got an interview with Ryan Parker coming out next week. I hope you guys listen to the interview with Aggressor. I'm pretty sure I named all the patrons. We got a couple of new patrons, but they're not on that tier, but I still love you for doing it, man. Thank you guys so much. It really is helping. Even the smallest amount helps us immensely. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We love you all through Satan. And like always, the true principles of being a Satanist is organizing every single part of your life that you can physically, mentally, to prepare yourself to become the best person you can, and then implementing your will upon the world. Make them bend to you like you bend fucking steel.
And the will is to make a vampire baby.
And cover it with gravy and get a street fucking
pub.
See you guys next week. Hail Satan. God, I'm fucking hogged.
That was cool. God damn it, boy.